Hi, everybody. Hello there. We'll get started at 3 o'clock. I'm giving people a chance to be able to make it in. So you all tell me in the comment section where you're from or where you're located. Are you in Memphis? Hey, how are you, Miss Johnson? You all put in the comment section where you are. Are you in Memphis or are you in Nashville? Let me know where you're at. We'll get started here at 3 o'clock. If you all currently have questions and you want to go ahead and ask them now, I'll definitely take them while we wait. Just let me know in the comments section. Hello, everyone. We'll get started at 3 o'clock, giving everybody some time to be able to come on in. Memphis. Hi, Ms. Porter. Glad to have you on. I hope you all have some questions about financial aid and scholarships. Oh, yes. Yep. I hope you all have had a chance to look at our other virtual information sessions. We have been having a blast talking with faculty in regards to our different degree programs. Please know that we are still accepting applications for the fall. The deadline is August 10th. And if you haven't already heard, please know this. NTS is giving every student $500. Yes, $500 scholarship for the fall semester. If you are in a master degree program and you are taking a minimum of 6 credit hours. Hi, Miss Amaras. It's good to have you on here. So I'm super excited about being able to offer that particular scholarship. MTS is a great place to attend seminary. And we just want everyone to be able to have the opportunity to be able to come. You know what? Actually, so MTS doesn't offer scholarships for our doctoral program. However, in our external scholarship portion of our website, we do have some scholarships that we found that are geared towards doctoral programs. And so, as you all know, I'm definitely looking for more scholarship opportunities because what we want to make sure with all of our students is that they don't leave here in an insurmountable amount of debt. We want our students to be able to not have to worry about have high debt levels and leave here with this awesome education, but worn out by the payment of the debt. So that's one of the reasons why we are definitely having this virtual information session, because we want to be able to provide our students opportunities, have them consider things that they may not have been considering in order to pay for their theological education. And then if they have any questions, whether they would like to call me directly, they can, or they could ask while we're online. So, but it's 2:59 and I'm okay with getting started. So, hey, everybody. I am Fekecia Gunn. I am the Director of Enrollment Services here at Memphis Theological Seminary. Enrollment Services is a newly formed department. We've merged admissions and financial aid. And so a lot of schools are moving towards that type of format for admissions, having admissions and financial aid merged together. We already work together anyway, so this seems to be a better format for the direction that we're going. But today we're going to talk about paying for seminary and the things that we need to consider. So just please be reminded that if you would like to ask a question, please post it in the comments. When I get to a point where I can pause or a stopping point, I will stop to be able to answer those questions for you. So let's get started. All righty, so here are just a list of ways to consider to pay for seminary. What we have here is, I don't think it changed. I want to make sure that my screen changed. Oh, wonderful. Please email me. Wonderful. There we go. My screen changed. I wanted to make sure that everything is working in order. So here are a list of ways that I'm going to cover for today on how to be able to pay for your seminary education. Of course, you know, the first go-to for a lot of people are federal student loans. We also have institutional scholarships. That's just a fancy way of saying Memphis Theological Seminary scholarships. We also are looking at outside scholarships, denominational or church funding, personal or private loans, tuition reimbursement programs, self-pay, and lastly, military funding. So let's start with federal student loans first. So when we're thinking about federal student loans, I want people to be reminded that they are loans. They have to be paid back. In the manner in which you pay them back is up to you, but still the U.S. Department of Education, if you're getting a student loan from them, then these are loans that you pay back. Because we are a graduate school, we function a bit differently than undergraduate schools. Undergraduate schools will package a financial aid packet for our financial aid award for students. Graduate schools, we do not do that. And so particularly what I want to point out is that some students or prospective students will send their FAFSAs to NTS with the expectation that they will get an award letter or an offer letter. In graduate schools, for the most part, what happens is that we do not process your FAFSA until you have been admitted. So even though you've sent it to the school, your FAFSA will not be processed until you have been admitted. Now, if you have questions that need to be addressed prior to your admissions, then you'll need to contact the financial aid department, or in this regard, the Enrollment Services office, and you'll need to have a conversation with them about what's going on with your financial aid, if you have any questions in regards to that before you proceed. Another way to kind of get a good idea of where you are in your with your financial aid or your student loans is to go to studentaid.gov. That's on the bottom of the screen. If you go to studentaid.gov, you'll be able to see how much you have outstanding in student loans. The cap for student loans is $138,500. That includes your the money you receive for associate's degree, bachelor's, any type of graduate level. It's a combination of all of those loans that you've requested. The max that you can get is $138,500. In graduate school, there are two types of programs that NTS particularly offers. One of those is the unsubsidized student loan. That basically means that at the point that we disperse the loan, that it will accrue interest. Then we have the Grad Plus loan. Remember, I said that the max for student loans is $138,500. Well, we do have students who need more than the $138,500. For those particular students, they have to credit qualify with the U.S. Department of Education. It's a really quick qualification process. You should hear back in a few days from once you apply, and they'll be able to let you know that you are able to get the Grad Plus loan. Now, with the Grad Plus loan, we have to look at the fact that their interest rate is about 1% higher. So right now, an unsubsidized student loan is 6.08%. The Grad Plus will be 7.08%. The other part is that the unsubsidized student loan has an origination fee. Just like they take money out of your check, they will first take money out of your student loans, which is called an origination fee. For the unsubsidized, it is 1.059%. For the origination fee for the Grad Plus, it is 4.236. That's significantly higher. You'll see that coming out on the front end. For students who are in graduate school, we don't go by your EFC or your family contribution, because for graduate students, they're a little bit more established, and so their situation is going to be different than a undergraduate student. So the max that a student can take out, no matter what their family contribution will be, is $20,500 for the academic year. And that is if they have enough money available in order to be able to in order to be able to take up that particular amount. So the way that that's broken down is in $10,250 for the fall and $10,250 for the spring, or a total for the academic year will be $20,500. Now, one of the things that I share with people is that even though you're allotted the $20,500 for the academic year, we do not suggest that you take out the whole amount. The reason being is because you have to pay that back. And so take out what you are able to pay back. Now, let's talk about the process for student loans. So once a student is admitted into the program, we'll process your FAFSA. Your FAFSA is your application to the U.S. Department of Education that you want financial aid. That is not an application to the school. So some students will complete their FAFSA and believe that they are done. They're not. So the FAFSA is their application with the U.S. Department of Education, and then the school has their own particular process that students have to go through in order to request funding from the school. So I tell students to look at it this way. With student loans with the graduate student, they can include not only tuition and fees, they can also include room and board, any type of maintenance on their car if they're traveling. If they need a laptop, they can include purchasing a laptop, a printer if they need a printer, any type of educational expenses that they have. For graduate students, they can request funding in order to cover that. We will never know what that is. Only the student will know. We'll be able to look at what their life looks like, what kind of things that they need in order to know what the amount that they need to request. Now we're here to help you to be able to develop or come to an idea of what you would like to take out, but we can't make that choice for you. That's something that the student will have to let us know how much they're wanting to take out of that $20,500. And so one of the hard costs is tuition and fees. We know automatically that tuition and fees are going to be taken out once we receive the federal student loans, and then anything over that will be refunded to the student within 14 days. But please be reminded, when you send your FAFSA over to the school, that is not the end all be all. You still have paperwork that still needs to be filled out with the school so that we'll know exactly what it is that you want. And then also so that we can make sure that you are eligible on this end. So what you'll need to do after you complete your FAFSA and your institutional documentation, in order to get financial aid, you got to take a minimum of 6 credit hours. And so if you're taking just one class, you won't be eligible for financial aid. But if you take a minimum of 6 credit hours, then you'll definitely be eligible for financial aid. Remember, if you have any questions while I am going through this particular session, just let me know, and I will pause and I will stop for a moment. But I do want to take a look at, and I think you all can see this. All this information that I'm sharing with you can be found on the Memphis Theological Seminary website under Become a Student, or you can go under Student Resources, either drop down, and you can go to Financial Aid, and it pretty much goes through each step that I'm going through with you. It talks about the types of student loans, eligibility requirements, even our application process. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew where to go on our site, just in case you don't remember what I'm saying. You can do Become a Student, Financial Aid. All righty, let's go back. So now we're going to talk about scholarships. So scholarships can be either given by the institutional, or either by the institution, or students can find external scholarships. The thing about our particular school, MTS, is that you still have to apply. We do not automatically give you scholarships. You have to apply and let us know that you would like to be considered for that particular scholarship. All of our Scholarships are listed online. In order to apply for a scholarship, you must complete an online scholarship form. We do have deadlines for the fall scholarship season, which begins about mid-March. And then it also, what about financial aid for DMIN, since each term is 5 hours? So this particular session is for master's students. These are for master degrees, since we're in the master degree um, uh, uh, session. So doctoral students will do another one at another date. But for financial aid for DMIN, since you've asked the question, DMIN does not have a part-time. They're automatically full-time. So if you're in the DMIN program here at NTS, there is no minimum amount of hours, because there's you're automatically full-time. And so you can receive financial aid if you're a part of your doctoral program. Thank you so much for the question. So let's, I want to check out, take you to our scholarship portion of our site on Memphis Theological Seminary's website. So you can go to become a student, or you can do student resources. Both of them have scholarships. You can click on scholarships, and it shows you the different types of scholarships that we have available. I particularly want to show you about new students. So new student scholarships are going to be different. The reason being is because we have new students that come in for the fall, the spring. We also have them coming in for the summer. This particular part on the right-hand side says at application, which means that these particular scholarships don't go by a deadline. So if you've been admitted after the deadline, you're still able to apply for these scholarships as long as there's scholarship funding that is available. As you can see, we have 4 of scholarships that are particularly like this. You can fill out a scholarship application and send it in, and then we will let you know in regards to availability of those particular scholarships, whether or not they're available, and whether we'll consider you in the pool to receive that scholarship. But one of the things I want people to know is that we do have scholarships on our listed on our website. If you call and you ask, can you let me know what scholarships are available, I will send you to the website, because there's a list of scholarships that you'll need to go through. Of course, we have Methodist scholarships that are here. These are denominational scholarships. As you can see, for example, Cora Hawkins Crutchfield Scholarship is $1,000, and it's for any married CME pastor. That's it. Taking a minimum of 6 credit hours. That's it. We have Grimes Memorial UMC Scholarship, which is $3,000. We have some pretty hefty scholarships. These are for United Methodist ministerial students in the Memphis or Tennessee conference with a minimum of 6 credit hours. So it'll be good for you to be able to go through and see which scholarships that you qualify for. And we have a pretty good list. Minority, we have general, those that fall outside of these particular parameters. And then the next thing I want to go to is the external scholarship. So here's our list of external scholarships. You can also find that by going to Become a Student, Scholarships, External Scholarships, okay? We have a plethora of scholarships here. These scholarships are ones that we found through the internet that are geared specifically towards theological studies. And so these are really good scholarships to consider. Let's check out United Methodist. So here we are. You need a scholarship, Latasha Brown? We have a pretty good amount of scholarships that are available. These particular scholarships are external scholarships. I just got a notification that a student applied for an external scholarship off of our list, and that they received a really good amount for the scholarship to go towards their theological education. And so basically what you'll need to do is, and I'm wondering, okay. My apologies, you all. I did not know that it was not sharing my screen. So here we go. Let's see, make sure that we're back on. Let's see. Here we go. My apologies, you all. I'm just here talking, thinking that you can see what I'm sharing. Let's see, make sure that it comes up. All right. So now what we have is, our United Methodist. This is just one of many. Let me go back. So if you go to become a student, scholarships, and then external scholarships, then you'll be able to see this particular list of scholarships. These are external scholarships that we have available. I clicked on United Methodist to give you a view of what will come up. You could just take a look at these particular scholarships. It's a summary of them, see which ones that you may qualify for. If you click on the name, it'll go directly to the website where we got the information from in regards to this particular scholarship. This particular scholarship for United Methodist has a plethora of scholarships. So you do one application and you wind up getting being able to access tons of scholarships on their websites. But this is just an example. Another one would be, let's look for women. Here's another one for women. We have the American Association of University Women. They must be a U.S. citizen, last degree received, and there must be a woman. You click on that, you can apply for it, submit your application, your scholarship essay, and you'll be able to put your name in the hat to be able to receive scholarships. But these are our external scholarship lists. I just wanted to make sure that people knew that these items are on our NTS website. So you can go to become a student, you can go to scholarships, and then you can go to external, click on it. It'll go to the external scholarship page. You can click on these lists and they have scholarships that are still active and available. I did want to go back to scholarships and just click on scholarships and take you to these are our institutional scholarship page. Before I knew that my screen had stopped sharing, I was talking about this particular application. I want you all to see that these are some of the scholarships that are available at application. They don't necessarily have a deadline. Because we have two deadlines, one in the fall, which is May 31st, and then another one in the spring for the spring semester, which is November 30th. And so whether you're before or after that deadline, you should be able to still be able to apply to scholarships if they are still available. So make sure that you put your name in the hat for considerations. Okay, there we go. All righty, so let's go back. And okay, let's see. There we go. Trying to get this back on track. All right, there we go. So that's the end of scholarships. Just know that we do scholarships a bit differently. The way that you can apply for scholarships is to make sure that you are not only admitted, but also registered. What we don't want to happen is that we give away scholarships and the person has not registered and does not plan on going through with attending school. And so we try to make sure that those students who are admitted and registered are able to complete the scholarship application, which is found online, so that we'll be able to award them because we know that they're coming to school here at MTS. Remember, if there are any questions, make sure that you put those questions in the comment section so that I'll be able to pause and answer them for you. Denominational and church funding. So one of the things that I found is that there are some denominational and church funding that is not listed on the website, but that they're learned about. They're talked about internally. And so because of that, I tell people to please make sure that they talk to their church or to their denomination in order for them to know what they offer. And so you would be surprised. You would be surprised how many churches actually do have scholarship funds that people don't know about, and that's not listed on websites. And so the other thing is that I try to also tell people is that you don't know whether or not your church will fund your education until you ask. Sometimes it's not brought to the table, it's not a discussion. And so make sure that you're having that discussion, that you talk with them about the possibility of them providing funding for your education. You can ask them if they would cover 1 credit hour, or if they would cover a class worth of books, or if they could cover your books for each semester. But begin having that conversation and seeing if that is even an option, because every bit helps. Hi, Latasha Brown. We would love to talk with you. So you can actually, Latasha, you can email us at admissions@memphisseminary.edu, or give us a call, and I'm going to put my direct line. I'll show you where I'll give you my direct line so that you can call me directly, okay? So let's talk about personal or private loans. So some students only look at federal student loans. There are other alternative loans that are out there, one of them being personal or private. Personal being with banks. If you bank with a Bank of America or a Wells Fargo, any bank that you bank with, they have a student loan product. Most of them do. And so it's always good to ask them, since you bank with them, what kind of benefits could they get from not only just banking with the bank, but also having student loans through the bank. Some students find that it's better to bank with their banks than it is to get than it is to get federal student loans. And so you want to talk to them about what their repayment schedule looks like. What kind of benefits do you have if you need to go into forbearance? How many times can you go into forbearance? What kind of help do they have if you need to if you need to modify your payment plan? Also, you're looking at interest, those types of things. Private loans, you are more like Sally Mae, Discover. I think there's a Citizens One. And so you can Google those and see what kind of options that you'll have for private loans. They kind of work like federal student loans, kind of it's a private lender. Now think about when the government makes changes to their loans, it doesn't necessarily mean that change trickles down to personal or private loans. You'll have to consider that. For instance, in this particular pandemic, there were a lot of people who thought that because they had personal or private loans that their payments stopped too, and they didn't. So please be reminded that you'll have to watch, read, and keep up with what your particular lender is doing with your particular type of student loan, okay? And so it's always best to give them a call and to ask them what their options are and what they can offer you. I'm always an advocate for asking questions and making sure that you're clear. So personal or private loans are an option for some. Let's talk about tuition reimbursement. Some people have the ability to be at a job that allows for tuition reimbursement. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, I attend a seminary. That's fine. There are some courses that your particular employer could pay for. It just depends on the parameters of your employee reimbursement or your professional development fund that they have. And so, for instance, let's say you work with children and you take a course called At-Risk Youth. It falls within your parameters. You could look and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to see if they'll cover that course. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I want you, like we diversify our money, you can diversify how you pay your pay for seminary. And so if every now and then you can get a tuition reimbursement, I encourage you to do it and to pursue it. It may be a lot of paperwork, it may be a little bit of paperwork, but make sure that you talk with your employer, see what the parameters are in order to utilize your tuition reimbursement plan. And that way when you see certain courses come up, you'll be able to see what it is that you can or what you can apply for. And you'll also have a better understanding of what you can, of what your company can do for you. So for those of you who are new that are coming on, if you have a question, just place your questions in the comment section. I'll pause periodically in order to answer those questions. So self-pay, believe it or not, at NTS, a little over 50% of the students that attend here do not use financial aid, do not take out federal student loans. And so that's a great thing. And out of those students who don't take out student loans, they are using self-pay. So they are paying as they go. So self-pay can, you got to have some discipline in there. So, cutting back on your household expenses, putting away funding in order to be able to cover your classes. But I also wanted to talk about this particular part of self-pay is that what you can do is you can wind up raising support to attend seminary. So let's say you invite family and friends to be a part of the journey, and that you let them know that I need 14 people to invest $25 into my education a month. Or you can get 7 people to invest $50 a month. That will be $350 that you have each month. And then that could be $1,750 that could go towards your seminary education, that could lower your the amount that you have to pay back, lower the amount of weight that you may feel from having to pay out of pocket. But this is one of the things that I think that people don't regularly use, but can use, whether it's $25, $10, $5. If your family can help invest in you not having to take out a lot of federal student loans, but with the combination of self-pay, scholarships, and sometimes people do take out a little bit of federal student loans in order to cover the amount that they're not able to cover with self-pay and other outside sources. That's an option too. So you may want to utilize a combination of, or you may just want to use self-pay on its own. But what I want you to see in this is that you should really consider self-pay if you can. Okay. All right, military funding. If you if you have access to military funding, MTS does work with the VA in order for you to use your different bills and your military credits that you have. All you have to do is contact our registrar. But before you contact her, you got to first contact your VA benefits counselor to make sure that you have enough in order to be able to pay for your education through your bill. And then also you'll need to see what paperwork that needs to be filled out, because some students come and they have access to military funding, and the only thing that the school does is sign off and verify, and maybe even a couple more steps. But for the most part, the student it's the burden of the student to make sure that that they qualify on the military end, and then we're just responding to the military when we send your bill or verify that you are a student and that you are attending MTS. So let's stop for a question. if a person doesn't use federal loans, can they take less than 6 hours a semester? So you can take as many hours as you'd like. It's just that if you want to qualify for federal student loans, that you would need to take a minimum of 6 hours. So if you only take one class per semester, you won't be able to qualify for federal student loans, but you will be able to pay out of pocket, or you won't qualify for MTS scholarship opportunities, because you'll have to have a minimum of 6 credit hours in order to be eligible for our scholarships. That was a really good question. Thank you, Felicia. So, but you all continue to ask questions if you have them. I'm actually finished. Here are, when considering seminary, you got to think about tuition and fees. This is a breakdown of our tuition, which is $610 per credit hour in our master's degree, and then an $85 activity fee. This is what it looks like to be part-time is $3,745, and full-time $5,575. Now, these are just kind of general numbers or credit hours that I'm going by. If you want to take 12 credit hours, by all means. I've taken 12 credit hours when I attended seminary for a year and a half, getting the drug and alcohol addiction counseling certificate. So there was 2 classes that I had to take, and they had to be taken in the same semester. So I went ahead and just took 12 credit hours. But to be considered part-time, you got to take a minimum of, you got to take 6. To be considered full-time, you got to take a minimum of 9 credit hours. Okay. Lastly, I want to make sure that you all are aware. Let me move, see about moving this out of the way. Doesn't look like I can move it, but for the fall 2020 semester, for those of you that are applying for the fall, we are waiving your application fee. Our applications can be completed online. One of the things that I love about completing the application online is the fact that you can, once you put in your information, particularly your references, it will email your references from the application. When you put in their email addresses, it will email them directly with the form to complete. Once they complete the form, it'll automatically be sent back to the admissions office. And so that takes some work off of the prospective students' hands. That's one of the things I like about that. Make sure that you adhere to the fall deadline of August 10. That's the deadline for our applications. Make sure you get your applications in there real simple. As far as what we require is a personal, it is a personal essay. We have goals of theological education that helps us to be able to know what your goals are and how we can help you meet them. We also have 3 references, as well as, well, 1 clergy, 1 lay, and 1 academic. And then we also have all transcripts that will need to be turned in your completed application. That's it. It's real simple. So, and also I want you all to be reminded, every incoming student will receive $500 for the fall semester. You must be in a master's program and take a minimum of 6 credit hours. Listen, $500. We are investing in you coming to NTS. We believe in you. So let me take this question. Does your master's degree have to be in ministry for the DMin program? Actually, it doesn't. You can have an MDiv or MDiv equivalent, which basically means that you have courses that are going to be geared towards that particular doctoral program. The reason why I say that is because let's say you're doing one of the doctoral programs which requires pastoral classes. Although you have a master's degree, what we'll do is something called leveling courses, where you're able to simultaneously, while you're in your doctoral program, take some of those courses that you'll need in order to help level you out. Since you may not have a master's degree or master's degree in divinity or MDiv, even you have a master's degree, but we can still help with being able to make sure that you have the foundational piece that you need while you're taking your while you're in your doctoral program. So no, it doesn't have to be in ministry. And if you're wanting to become or if you want wanting to get into a MDiv program or MACM program, your bachelor's degree does not have to be in ministry. My bachelor's degree was in accounting, and that was one of the things that I was concerned about. But that's not something that they were necessarily, looking at. They're looking at your bachelor's degree being able to handle the work that you'll have here, that you'll be able to do here at the seminary, because this work here will prepare you for pandemics. I believe that. I think that it'll give you some tools that you can use for sustainable ministry, regardless of what you may be, where your ministry context is going to be. And so I appreciate MTS for that. So any more questions? Remember, fall deadline is August 10th. And then also, you're very welcome, Ms. Brown, is August 10th. That is what I wanted to show. This is ways that you all will be able to connect to us. If you have questions, please email us. We try to do a 24-hour response time with our emails and phone calls. You can contact us at admissions@memphisseminary.edu. My direct line is the 334-5887 number. Call me, Ms. Brown, call me, so that we could talk about next steps and what you're considering, whether the doctoral program or the master's program. These are the different ways that you'll be able to connect with us online, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please connect to us. We have a lot of things going on. Memphis Seminary is not just equipping men and women through educational programs, but also through webinars. We have something called Sunday Morning Seminary with great topics that are being discussed by our faculty members. And so we provide services to the community. If people want to audit a course, they're more than welcome to audit a course here at the seminary. Some people want a more in-depth understanding of some particular topics. Any course that is listed on the schedule, if you desire to audit, come on over. Come on over and audit. Check out our website, which is memphisseminary.edu. We have a lot of information on there. If you need help or you have questions, give me a call. I'll be happy to answer. Lastly, and I forgot this, I need you all to, I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay, it's really up close because I need for you all to really understand this. If you are currently in default, you do not have to be. A part of being a financial aid officer on any campus is to be able to help students navigate through tough terrain in their financial journey. Okay, so if you are currently in default and you're thinking, okay, I can't go to seminary because my federal student loans, there's some stuff going on, give us a call. Give me a call. Our heart's desire is not that you get student loans and then you wind up being in default. There are options and there are ways to be able to get you out of default, get you in a position to where you're able to pursue your theological education without having that type of weight on you. And so we continue to do that for students here at MTS. We continue to do that for people who desire to come to school and they find out that but they know they're in default, and we help them get out of default. I definitely wanted to be able to say that to you all. If that is something that you're enduring right now, please give me a call, 901-334-5887. Please give me a call. Do not want you to have to continue to be in that space. Okay. And so if you all have any questions in regards to enrollment, just know that we are taking students until August 10th. I have enjoyed my time here. It doesn't seem like I have any more questions. Are there any questions before I log off? Remember to check out the external scholarship list. There are a lot of really good scholarships. And I'll even say this, one of the things about scholarships is that there are people who don't apply. One of the things that one of the notifications I get from scholarship donors is that they need applicants. And so one of the things I push students to do is get you a good essay and use parts of that essay, tweak it so that you don't have to rewrite a whole essay every time you turn in a scholarship. You can rework it. You can send it to our library has a writing center that will help you with writing your essay, making it pop a little bit more. And so utilize the services here at the school. But also the other thing is, if you put on a movie, because I know everyone is watching, is binging Netflix, put on a specific movie and start looking for scholarships or start applying for scholarships while you watch a movie. If you do that, I'll tell you, you will have, if you put your hat in, if you put your name in more hats, then more people will pull out your name when it's time for you to be able to receive that scholarship. And so there are ways to be able to pay for your theological education, but it's going to have to, but it's going to have to come at your out of your hands. Basically, got to put in a little bit of effort. And so we've already did a lot of searching for you. And so utilize that external scholarship list. And then if you have any questions, just 2.5 minutes. You know what? I got to get off because she's about to call me in 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to talk to you all later. And so if you have any questions, just give me a call. And I hope that you all have a great day. Talk with you later.